Helang. Mind you, I wasn't recording. I just start all over again. But lucky I wasn't far into like the episode. Before Tom, Aliswani. Garawing for 10 marks, Liswani. Anyway, someone and stuff, guys. I'm Rian. I have a podcast. Now it's Monday. I have a headache. I'm good. I have a headache. And Kidumile pizza. And not just like pizza from Debonairs or like romance or like pizza vino. Like good Italian pizza. I just don't know where to find it this side of the city. I know where to find it that side of the city. Not this side of the city. But yeah, it's kind of not my fault. I live in this shithole. It really isn't. It really isn't. Anyway, I would never survive prison. Ever. Like, my mom took me to jail at 15 once. I still haven't forgiven her for it. She must suffer for that, actually. I will never forgive her for that. I want revenge. And I just realized I had an epiphany today. I'm like, there's no way. Because I say things, I say wild things, okay? And like about 70% of the things I say, I stand by them, okay? But like, this was like, I usually go, I'm not afraid of prison, like, but that's because I'm not afraid of like being punished or being in there for like 20 years or like life or getting a death sentence or this or that. Like, I'm not afraid of that. I'm just afraid of the encounters I'm gonna have in prison, the people I'm gonna meet. These people have done diabolical things. Now here I am, just a girl in there. There's no way I would survive prison. There is no way. Also, I'm too smart and pretty for prison. I'm not saying that the people in prison are dumb. I mean, they are. You got caught. But let me not say things like that before they come for me. Sorry. Kadlala jokes. Anyway, I was reading a thread. Nah. Well, it's not a thread. Is it a, what are they called? A Reddit thread that was posted on TikTok in like a slideshow form, and it says, ex-prisoners of Reddit, what was the worst thing you saw inside the prison walls? So basically, the worst thing you've experienced or seen inside prison while you were inside. Disclaimer: if you don't want to hear about prison life, if you hate hearing about blood, gore, just disgusting things in general, please switch off your phone right now. Stop the video right here. Stop the app right here. Okay, you there's no way, because this first one is like crazy. The rest is like work, no reaction. But the first one is like, Helang. Hey. Anyway, let me read the first one for you guys. We had an offender with a colostomy bag. If you guys don't know what a colostomy bag is, it's basically them taking your, I don't know if it's the small intestine or the largest intestine. Basically, you don't have to poop out the whole, like out your ass anymore. So they put your intestine right here by your bottom stomach. I don't know if I'm explaining it correctly, but I've seen it before. Here, and then there's a bag, you poop and fart in, whatever. As soon as you eat, the all the waste goes into that bag. So that's what a colostomy bag is. And then they cut a hole there, and then your intestine sticks out, like it sticks out like this, and then that part is called the stoma, I think. I don't know, my knowledge on this is very limited. I know enough to like not be rude or stare at people who have colostomy bags in public. I know enough. I can see, like, I can identify one, but my knowledge on this is like very limited because, yeah, I don't know anyone personally who has a colostomy bag. Anyway, continuing. Every time he would shower, the most terrible smell would fill the unit. We asked him multiple times not to burp his colostomy bag in the shower, but he swore he wasn't. Eventually, after developing an infection, his doctor found out he was charging other inmates to have sex with this colostomy hole. Lering? Huh? Excuse me? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean he was charging other inmates to have sex with his stoma? His colostomy hole. Like that's his intestine, guys. That's his intestine that's sticking out a part of his stomach, and he's charging people to have sex with it in prison. How bad is prison for you to be able to like come to that like conclusion to say, yeah, I'm gonna do this? How bad is it in there? What are you saying? I haven't recovered after that one. I had to take a walk. I went to go pee. I had to chill a bit. I had to get off the TikTok app. I played a game for like 10 minutes, just thinking about this first slide. And I was like, there's no way. No. Oh my god, stop it. Anyway, next one. The next one is not that bad. Anyway, I spent 6 years in prison. 1 month in, I watched a Crip on Crip gang stabbing. They stabbed the guy 60 plus times while he was curled up in a ball screaming help. But nobody could because you'd be the next target. He somehow survived, but I couldn't tell you how. I think about it every day. I want to tell you guys now, in my first year of varsity, I stayed in this building. Nah. And there was a girl a couple of doors down, and Natwasa, for people who don't know who Twasa Amy is, basically going to school to initiate you to become a traditional healer. Like, it's basically like traditional healing school. That's what it is, you know. Traditional healer, witch doctor, whatever you call it, where you're from. You go to school to become, to kind of hone your skills and your gifts, not just skills, you know, whatever, you know. And but wrong. Like, she would have these episodes where the ancestors would like try to talk to her on a random fucking Thursday at 7 o'clock at night. And I was like, there's no way. Like, and I would stand by my door with the Bible, praying that it's not my ancestors trying to get through to me. That was traumatic for me. Now imagine being in prison, hearing someone being stabbed 60 plus times, screaming help, and you can't help them because you're scared. If you even try to interfere, you're the next target. There's no way I'd survive prison. There's no way. I'm backtracking. You know, I speak a lot of shit. Prison is one thing I can't survive. I lost it in the loony bin for a week when they wouldn't give us our phones. Now imagine prison. I'm already fragile mentally. I'd commit suicide my first weekend. There's no way. Next, there was talk about a guy assaulting his own daughter. Matter of fact, I'm not mad about that one. Some guys made him a cup of morning coffee. Morning coffee, in quotation marks. Morning coffee is basically taking a kettle, pour cooking oil in it, heat it up, and add a lot of sugar, and then throwing it in someone's face. That one was satisfying. But that's the only satisfying slide out of this whole slide fucking show. That's the only nice one. That's the only one where you go, he kind of deserved that. The rest is just like, what we get Hunger Games? Hang on. Who's the rest? Next one. Not prison, but jail. I'll repeat. Not prison, but jail. What do you mean? 6 months pregnant. There was a lady who was 6 months pregnant, and her water broke. COs didn't believe her and waited to take her to the hospital until she was hemorrhaging. The baby died, and the woman was released because they didn't want to pay medical costs. This was 2004-ish. I was born 2003. I turned 21 this year. This baby would have been turning 20 this year. Now imagine, yeah, she got her freedom. She like is not in prison anymore, but at what cost? At what cost? Do you get what I'm saying? Like it's like at this point, like it's not worth it. I would sue the whole fucking country. Fuck, I'd be so mad. I'm giving up my citizenship. I'm moving to a different country, and I'm losing the accent in the process. Matter of fact, I'm losing the name. Ah, ooh. Mm-mm. Next, I worked in the medical department of a large prison in Florida. We had an inmate bite a bigger inmate's nose off the tip. The bigger guy kept asking the kid for sex, and he had enough. Oh, that's funny. We saw several stabbings. Several were live fighted out. I don't know what that means, but those weren't the most interesting. We had an inmate smoke some bad spice. You know, when I read that, I was like, why are they smoking spice? Dumbest thing I've said all day. Made out of God knows what. He came to medical out of his mind and later died because it caused brain hemorrhaging. That's crazy biz. The guy got dislocated. One guy got a dislocated patella. I don't know what a patella is. I think I know what a patella is. I have an idea of what it is, but it has to be a bone, right? It's a bone. It's a bone. One guy got a dislocated patella, and he was just sitting patiently as I got his info. I asked if it hurt, and he said yeah. I asked how he was so chill, and he replied, because I'm not a bitch. Well, this one is light work, no reaction, you know? Cute. It's a little bit scary because of the several stabbings. Life fight it out. We don't know what that means. A small kid biting a bigger inmate's nose off because he's sick and tired of him asking for sex. That's kind of satisfying. I feel like prison shouldn't be like this. But I guess if you put a bunch of monsters together in one place, they're gonna start, hurting each other. Done 11 years myself. One of the worst things I've seen is two members of a gang called Goodfellas, aka 40 Deep, jump on a blood. I guess a blood is someone who's like part of whatever gang, on the way back from Pilcore. One used a large knife and the other a fan motor in a net bag and used it as a flail. I don't know what a flail is. Is it like a flail? Like a flail? I don't know what a flail is. Also seen/heard multiple people being raped. That's crazy. That's crazy. You know, people used to get raped outside my school in high school. Well, not directly outside, by the by the fences, but like across the road. You know, like across the road, people used to get raped. I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like I had to share that. Whatever. A friend of mine admitted to me after a year or so that he had been actively raped every night by his roommate for about a 5-month period. What's 5 times 30? Search that for me real quick. Every day for a good 5 months. Do you know my life could change in 5 months? You could buy a car in 5 months if you consistent in your work. You could move out of home in 5 months if you're consistent. You could save up for a trip or holiday. For 5 months, every day, being violated. I wouldn't survive the first week. There's no way. Next, I spent 8 years in prison in the state of Georgia. There was a guy who made a hustle of holding and hiding illegal cell phones for the Mexican gangs. Every time I hear Mexican gangs, I think about colored people. Sorry. Anyway, when a shakedown/search occurred, This man was responsible for the loss of many of those cell phones. He was confronted on the yard and tried to escape by climbing the fence. He got stuck in the razor wire, shredding his forearms while 7 or 8 Mexican gang members were stabbing him in the back of his legs and ass. Wow, that's crazy. Oh, that's crazy. 7 or 8 gang members were stabbing him in the back of his legs and ass. Like, imagine, there's no way he's walking now. If he is, ew. Hi. Let me not say things like that. This is serious, okay? Anyway, next one. Not the most messed up, but this stuck with me for whatever reason. While studying medicine, I was working at a prison clinic in New York. Sorry. Guy comes with a fairly dirty cast on his arm, otherwise, he seemed fairly normal. He was there to have his cast removed, so I asked him when they put the cast on, and he says December. It's late January, so yeah, it's been enough time for the bone to heal. I figured his living conditions were the reason for the cast looking like that, so I got the okay and started removing the cast. The smell. His skin underneath looked terrible, and there were little pieces of wood and other crap embedded on the skin. Oh shit. Ew, I can picture that. Complete a trophy of the casted forearm. Yo, I can smell it. After further questioning, it turns out the cast had been on his arm for over a year and it's just getting removed. I was glad to be getting out of that rotation. That's crazy. I would never survive working in a prison. I would never survive being in prison, like being like a punished citizen in a prison. I would never, like, nothing. I don't want to work with inmates. Sorry. I don't even want to be, I don't even want to live close to a prison. Matter of fact, the city I live in better not have a prison. I'm gonna relocate in a small city by the coast and not live by a prison. No. Next, was in the TV room during late night in a dorm unit pretty early in my 10-year bid. Why do they say it like that? Anyway, there were only a few guys in there since it was about to close and I was towards the back of the room. A guy walked in with a coffee cup, sits it down at a chair a couple of rows in front of me, and leaves the room again. There was an older white guy sitting in the seat directly in front of the coffee chair. Huh? Oh, that's suspicious. A couple of minutes later, the man who left the coffee comes back in through the back door of the TV room, walks right past me with a huge piece of metal. It looks like a giant tin can top. Huge piece of metal, giant tin can top. Oh, okay. Okay. I know what a tin can top is. Damn, I had another dumb moment. He walked right to the chair behind the older white guy and brought the metal around to the front of his neck and started fucking sawing this dude's head off a few feet away from me. I was stunned and watched for a while, but I eventually got up and walked out of the back door, being careful not to make furtive moments. I guess it's like any sudden movements. Furtive movements, I mean, to tip off the CO at the desk. Hey, man, can you wait a tin cap? You see, let's say this is a tin. Get tin fish. That part of the tin open, the tin can top. That's what he used to behead someone. I've never seen a head. Ew. Like, it's already like a process to like cut someone's stomach, when people are getting a C-section done. Like, I'm picturing it, when people are getting a C-section done, they cut so many layers of the skin. Now imagine cutting someone's head off. Do you see how thick my neck is? Do you see how thick my neck is? And uberekisa a tin can top to behead me. What? Dina. Lipilas motherfucker. That's the last one, guys. I'll bapilas motherfucker. Can't see la sur. I'm scared. Hae kyataba. Nanga survive. Do. Guys, survive. I would never. No, I could never survive. Like, there's no way. Like, I'm spooked. The first one, the last one. Helang. The first one's diabolical. Emanyana. Like, the first one's diabolical. Like, you're right. Next. Living sharp, guys. Also, please make sure, like, now going to prison is now a fear of mine. Now it's a fear of mine. Like, sorry. You know when people go, I'm gonna get this money legally. I'm gonna get this money legally or illegally. Could never be me. Never tell what wrong. Nah. Hi. Kibula tataviana. Magambola. Yo. They would kill me. They would hurt me. I'd become someone's bitch immediately. There's no way. Although now I give up quick. There's no way I'm gonna be like looking over my shoulder 24/7 and also like what you call fighting all the fucking time. Like not at some point I'm like tlohelang. Like at some point I give up. I cannot energy lutun. Yo, living safe, you guys. Please make sure let's get tronco. Making sure too, ne? Living alright. Hey, sharp.